That's okay. No, I'm probably 10 maybe. I was better last year around this time. This coaching thing ain't great for my handicap, big dog.
All right, here with Coach Billups, we will open with questions. So if you had a question.
You've talked about numerous times about how tough last year was. You grinded through it. Now you're here with another chance and a team that you have more of your fingerprints all over the roster. How excited are you? What are you anticipating with this group? And how do you feel about just getting back to a fresh start?
Why you always ask 4 questions, man?
The worst. It's because this thing passes around. I might not get it back.
I can't remember, man. No, I mean, I think we all understand how tough last year was. But it was one of those things that, and I've always just kind of believed this, like everything happens how it's supposed to. And you just got to take all the lessons away from it. You know, I learned a lot. And throughout that year, you know, we had a lot of influx with our roster and our organization. I mean, it was just a lot, period, for everybody, not just myself. But as a coach, you know, I learned a lot. I feel so much different right now, sitting in front of you guys a year later, you know, going into my second year, second training camp, second everything. Everything was a first last year for me. I'm happy where everything is at. You know, I think the synergy between Joe and I and how we trying to put this team together has been beautiful, you know. I'm pretty sure you guys are all gonna like the new faces that we have with Jeremy and GP2, along with, you know, that we don't talk about is the guys that we got in the trade last year and the trades that we done. They didn't have a chance to play, you know, with a roster. So, you know, Josh Hart and Justice, you know, Winslow and those guys, I mean, Keon Johnson, who's had a great summer. I mean, those guys didn't have a chance to play with most of our starters. So it's a lot of things that'll be different, a lot of things that'll be new, and I know I'm very, very excited to get going. And I'm glad that the roster is shaping up how it is.
Hey, Coach, do you
What's up, Jason?
Not much. Do you have a general philosophy on how you handle, like, starting lineups? Is it, you know, status, ability, fit? Like, do you have a general way you're going to approach that?
I mean, I think that it's pretty clear that we have 4 guys that are going to start for sure, you know. And then obviously the big question is the small forward spot. And the way that I'm approaching that, I'm guessing that's your way of getting to that question. But the what? Yeah, nah, the 2, I mean, Ant's going to start. You know, Dame and Ant's going to start in the backcourt. There's no question about that. But at the small forward, the way I kind of see that is it's kind of going to play out in camp. To me, there's 3 guys that are going to have an opportunity to do it. And that's obviously Josh Hart, Nas, and even Justice. And it just really depends. Like at that spot, it's not always about the best player in that spot or the most talented guy. It's about who plays best with that unit, you know. And you also want to have a really good bench as well. So we'll see how it plays out. I kind of see it as all 3 of those guys can be starters, you know, in this league. And who knows? It might be a committee type of thing based on lineups and matchups that particular night. So we'll just see how they all play with each other, and I'll make that decision when it's apparent to me.
Hey, Coach, Danny Brington, Native Fan.
How you doing?
Good, Coach. One of the things that came out of Summer League, Coach Hetzel said he wanted to replicate what you guys were trying to do last year, but you guys really didn't get that opportunity with so many roster changes. What specifically are you trying to drive home to this team this year that's going to be the Chauncey Billups mantra, or stylistically, or what you want to get done?
Yeah, I think, we obviously, I think we had a really good summer. Obviously, Summer League was good. But even after that, just having guys around here, just trying to really create a culture of competition, competitiveness. That's what it's all about for me. My goal for our team is I want us to be just the most connected group in the league. That's my goal. It's not a wins and losses. It's not none of that, none of those things. I just want us to be the most connected team in the league. And I know what comes with that. The most connected teams all are pretty successful. So that's my goal for our team. And that's the kind of team that I want to build. I want to be the type of team that nobody really wants to play against. And to be that team, offensively, you have to share the ball. You got to be less predictable at times. Defensively, you got to just really get after it. And you got to have a lot of grit when you play. And you got to be able to compete every time you're out there when you play. And nobody likes playing against teams like that.
A couple times last year, you were maybe, I don't know, frustrated is the right word, but aware of your lack of size in general. I don't think this team got a lot bigger. Definitely different, but not a lot bigger. Are you still have some concerns about the general size of the roster?
Well, here's the thing. You can't do it all in a short amount of time. We've come a long way. I think that if any of y'all heard me all year, the one main thing that I spoke most about is us just being tough, and competing every single night. And I think that we've done a very good job of addressing that, and it's one thing at a time. You just can't get it all. This league is hard. It's hard to get better. It's hard to get the players that you want at all times. But I like every single player that we have. They all have been handpicked. I love what they can do. They all do different things. And I think I'm pretty confident knowing that, when you beat us this year, you're going to earn it. You're going to earn it. And I can live with that.
Joe Becker from K2. Chauncey over here on your left. Last year, your first year, so many injuries. What do you think you learned most last year that's going to help you going forward coaching the team this year?
Yeah, that's a good question. I learned so many things. I thought last year, I would say this, my very first lesson as a coach is we had training camp, and I thought we had a really good training camp. I did. And then we opened up the preseason and we played the Warriors, and they shot 69 threes against us. And seriously, 50 of them was wide open. And I just felt like they were in such better shape than we were in. I mean, it was my first lesson. And then we played Phoenix in the preseason, maybe the next game. And I thought they were just kind of running around on us too. And so I felt like coming in this year, we needed to be in better shape. And I really made that a point of emphasis this summer for us all to just be in better shape coming into camp, not getting in camp and starting it, So that was maybe my first lesson as a coach, because once you get there to that point, there's nothing you can do about that, You missed the opportunity, you missed the window. And so my staff and I, we made that a conscious effort to make sure these guys were in shape and getting them in earlier and just making them aware of it. And so that's probably my first lesson. I think that's really important. And, it doesn't matter what kind of system you want to play or how you want to play. If you're not in great shape, you're probably not going to play great, So that's one of a ton.
Chauncey, Nick Krupke from Fox 12 here in Portland. Going down to Santa Barbara, you want to be connected. How much do you look forward to that time on and off the floor to make that bond together?
Yeah, that was an intentional thing. I wanted to take our camp away. the NBA is just so tough now to practice and bond and connect once the season gets going. And so I've always thought the best way to connect for a team is on the road and being away, because you got to lean on each other. And so, if, for instance, if we had camp here, obviously we have a good practice and things like that, but then everybody goes home. They go to their, their kids, their wives, girlfriends, whatever it is, and then you lose that, the rest of that day as an opportunity to really connect. And so it's just very important. Like I said, that's my goal for our team, so why not start that from day one? And our guys are excited about it.
Hey, Coach. Orlando Sanchez, KGW TV here in Portland. Wanted to ask you about Yusuf Nurkic, the summer that he had, and you getting a chance to watch him play, and just the importance of Nurkic being Nurkic at his highest level. How important is he to the success of this team?
Yeah, I thought Nurk had a really good summer. Being able to play, on his national team, I think his confidence is really high. They play differently than we play. They throw him the ball most of the time, and he's just punishing people. They don't really call charges over there, so he really is the Bosnian beast when he plays there. So he was very appreciative that Joe and I came and spent some time with him and watched him while he was in Germany. But Nurk is he's such a good teammate. He's all about the right things. I just love pouring into Nurk. He's going to be such an advantage for us. I mean, when he didn't play for us last year, people were just in our paint, just getting anything they wanted against us, and I don't think he gets the credit that he deserves for being a really good rim protector, paint protector. Rim protection is not always block shots, You got a big old guy in there like that, you got to think twice about going down there a lot of times. So he's obviously going to make a big difference for us on both ends of the floor. I've been talking with Dame and Jeremy and everybody about being better about moving off of the ball when you don't have the ball in your hands, because he's such a good passer. And he's actually looking to pass, So we got to try to take advantage of some of those, some of Nurk's strengths a little more.
Chauncey, when it comes to the defensive end, do you have kind of a benchmark for, we want to be top 10 or we want to be top half of the league, or do you have a specific number or a specific, we want to be this place in the league defensively to consider that part of the ball a success?
Yeah, no, not really. Not really. It goes kind of along with offensively and our connection and things like that. I just feel like if we're competing on that end, to be honest with you, you just let the chips fall where they may. I'm not going to say we got to be top 10, because what if we're 12 and we're having a great season? It's like, damn, we're not top 10. I don't like to do that. But we all know that we can't be where we've been, and we're focused on that.
Sean stole my question, so I'll go with this one. With the depth you have in the backcourt, is there maybe going to be a plan in place to reduce Damian's workload?
Yeah, we do have good depth in the backcourt, and the way that I see it, just kind of depends on the games. But if Dame is playing anywhere between 32, 34 minutes, that's great. But that means we're playing pretty damn good. And he wants to play 42 minutes, that competitor in him. So if we have it where we want it, I'm hoping in there around 34-minute mark, but we'll see. We'll see.
Chauncey Austin White with the Portland Tribune. You said Ant's going to be starting. Where do you feel his kind of head at is, knowing that he's going to be starting? Where is he at mentally, kind of taking on that role? And, if you've seen him too, where is he at physically?
Yeah. Well, I think, one of the obviously shining stars from our situation last year was Ant. I felt like he took the step into showing that he could be a starter in the game in our game. He's really confident right now. He had a great summer. He understands that he won't be surprising anybody this year, you know. So I'm really excited to see Ant this year. His voice is, he's you know, for a quiet guy, he's always, you know, he's kind of leading our huddles sometimes. He's being vocal. You just seeing him kind of grow up, man, you know, and it's been fun to see it. So he's excited, but he's earned it, you know. He really has. He's earned it. He's done a great job last year. He's done a great job this summer. He understands that there's a lot that come. There's a lot of responsibility that come with being a starter, you know. And he's learning, and I'm excited for Ant.
Coach, can you kind of go back to last year and tell me what stood out to you in those 4 games before the All-Star break?
Yeah, I think, you know, what stood out to me in that little stretch that we had was that we were just so connected, man. We were so connected on both ends. You know, we played pretty fast. We got up and down. I thought defensively we were flying all over the place. You know, we did a good job of changing defenses a lot, not letting teams get a rhythm. But we were just, we weren't, there wasn't a lot of isolations, you know. We moved the basketball. It was a beautiful brand that we played during that time, you know. So that's how we want to play. You know, obviously we have one of the best players in the game, in Dame, who we're going to play through, you know, all the time. But he also is a guy that he makes the right play. You know, when you double him, he's passing it. Like, he's getting off of it. He's making the right play. So we got to make sure everybody plays that way. Why then? Well, I felt like we had those guys for a little while. You know, they had been playing with each other for a little while. And, you know, things just click as you start doing it more, you know. And we preaching it. We're showing it every single day. We're demanding it every single day. And then you know how it is. You just hit a rhythm.
Coach, you said with your experience that you've learned a lot. Going into year 2, how much stylistically has your kind of playbook and how you want to go about and attack games changed?
Yeah, I mean, shoot, man. It's you know, we'll have some similar things that we run, but I mean, it's a lot more extensive. You know, your ATO packages and end-of-game things. But also our personnel's changed a little bit. You know, being able to have a lob threat in Jeremy, you know, athleticism in Jeremy, you know, that you can kind of move them all over the place. So a lot of those plays that didn't have them because I didn't need them, you know. But yeah, there's a lot that's changed with me just kind of studying the league, studying our stuff, you know, our personnel, other teams that have a similar personnel, you know, things that work for them. Like, there's just so many different studies that you have all season, off season, I'm sorry, just trying to get better and prepare ourselves. So it'll be different, you know, but at the same time, you know, basketball is basketball, and we want to just play the right way.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.